Yo, 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 it's Wave with another reaction. You got Abba and Preach reacting to Kevin Samuels. I like doing reactions to like other reactions because it feels like a conversation that could be had, you feel me, on two viewpoints. Even if they're the same or they differ, it's just it feels more full. So I like doing these for sure. But yeah, we're gonna get into this. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. And let me know in the comments what you want to see. And yeah.
Today's topic, got a little video from you guys featuring Kevin Samuels.
What about those of us that require diversity? I found marriage and one woman to be incredibly boring. I might remarry when in older, but I'm only 32.
There you go, you're 32.
I couldn't hear
her. I found marriage and one woman to be incredibly boring. I might remarry when in older, but I'm only 32.
Okay.
There you go, you're 32. What's gonna happen when you're 50? How much do you need, man?
He's the worst.
Real quick, 34 is probably already getting pretty damn old. Because it sounds like you've never had a loving relationship with a woman.
Damn, 34 is old now? That shit hurt.
Had a woman. See, guys who never had a woman's love, you're missing a lot. even the crazy stuff they want to say in these spaces. FBI women, beautiful women who are feminine and inspirational, provide a hell of a lot more than just.
What? It's just,
how much do you need?
This light kills me. It's just,
how much pussy do you need? But yeah, I get it.
We've had this conversation
yes,
before.
We did.
Right?
We
talk about this in private and all this stuff. And this is like, after a while, it's like, how much more diversity? Do you know what I mean? Now,
yeah, I did lie.
This came from our live stream, and so I wanted to ask him about this because oftentimes the manosphere, this is like a very talked about topic. And I talk about discipline when it comes to even the bedroom stuff because I know what it's like to spiral out and to engage in a lot of it. So
the net of it was men who have not had their quote unquote sexual fill think that life is going to just be a non-stop acquisition of new women. And it's not. I mean, there's a relationship between a man and a woman that that supersedes the bedroom. And I think that's the problem. We don't value what each of us brings to outside of that. This is why you look at people when they map up, when we look over at celebrities. If having all these multiple millions and billions just meant you could have concubines or whatever, why don't they have them? Because most people don't want that. And I would say this: number two, men who are really on their purpose, you're busy all the time.
Yep.
I'm busy all the time. The first time we physically
I'm busy all the time
because we're so dadgum busy.
What?
That's just real shit. We're so busy. We're busy.
That's facts, though.
Making money.
The more successful
really
you want to be, the more
think,
busy you become, the less time you have to spend with other people, which
like,
sucks. But in
yeah,
turn,
man,
you're doing all this stuff to,
so easy, be out there.
provide
like,
or help for everybody.
Now that I do this work full time,
cycle, man.
All this, like, bro, I've had.
When's the last time you got out? When's the last time you got out?
Forget this.
When's the last time you just? I'm talking about
Hey.
open the door. Not open the door and get your Uber Eats. Just had a walk outside. Just a little.
He's
corner,
like,
bro.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
Let's not even talk about girl.
I feel that, bro.
Leaving this goddamn place.
Nah,
I got
dog.
work to do. Got money.
I got work today.
And,
I feel this man to my core right now.
Really started to, like, pick up.
No.
I've probably gone on less
For
dates
what?
than I have. Like, this is the slowest period in my life in terms of dating and being out there. Before this, shit. Before I was doing this YouTube,
I mean, I'm
and
lucky
stuff,
I got a
from ages,
fiance who loves me,
28 to, like,
supports what I
24,
do. Cause
I lived more in the streets than I did in
it's
my
really
own place.
like that,
okay,
bro.
I should have been paying rent and light bills out there.
It's
I
like I
owe
don't
somebody
even
some
want to
money.
go anywhere because every
'Cause
time I leave, I'm like, I should be
but now
at
that I'm
home
so
working
busy,
right now. What am I
and
doing?
it's not even
Imagine the city
What am I
sending you a light
doing,
bill.
bro?
Yeah.
You been living in these streets.
That's why I'm bored. I was in these streets. I was the streets.
I was the
Come see
streets.
me. I don't need a boombox. I just be on Tinder swiping outside their door.
I'm gonna be the one dressed like a
Dang,
cone.
do I got a
Yo,
hole
that's
in my
it. That's
shirt?
it. A whole construction cone.
Hey,
Out
y'all,
the
I got a
streets.
hole
That's
in my
right.
shirt.
Forget a
Y'all see
pothole.
it.
I was a sinkhole,
That's
man.
crazy.
I was just. But
Oh man.
That hurt.
you know, when he spoke about purpose, like I really believe in that. When you are focused on something and you really believe in it, a lot of this other stuff starts to be on the back burner. The only way to apply yourself and to really have a high level of success, from my experience and from a lot of men who I've spoken to, is like you got to apply yourself. You can't afford to be the street. You can't afford to do
That's
that. Right?
facts,
So
man.
that's a misconception that people have. Sure, when you get that first, you might be like, ugh. But generally, my experience and from talking to other dudes, like they've realized that one, it's not rewarding, and two, it's not worth the cost. How much it affects your career. You start to think about, man, I could have put my energy towards this, towards that. This really wasn't fulfilling, other than a
Speaking
quick
facts.
ego trip. It was kind of refreshing to hear him say that, because you don't hear that kind of talk in the manosphere. a
No,
lot.
absolutely not.
Yeah.
You cannot afford to be the streets unless you're Mike Skinner. You know what I mean? It was supposed to be so easy.
Yeah.
That's the fault of my UK people.
Even athletes, you know, people at high levels, if they try to engage in this too much, it affects their careers. Generally, you don't find too many playboys who are able to make it really far, get to, or to meet their full potential. Generally, they make it in spite of their need to constantly be everywhere.
Except Dennis Rodman. But even if he's the exception, so, you know, he makes the rule. But
Even
other
if you
than
say
that-
he's
He makes the
exception, it's like
rule.
sometimes
Hey.
you succeed despite the fact that you put setbacks for yourself.
but he could-
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's
Some
facts.
dudes, take Shaq for example.
Yeah.
Genetically gifted, unbelievable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Wasn't disciplined when it came to his diet and his workouts. It's no different than this. You know what I'm saying? That's just something I wanted to relate to you guys. It's and again, this comes back to what I said before. It's like the grass always seems greener. And I've seen a lot of my young
Yeah.
homies go through it, and they talk to me about like, man, I want to be, you know, doing what you did and all this stuff. And I'm like, it's not all that.
But go do you if it
Dog,
serves
I
you.
be
That's
telling
right, 'cause
people.
I can't.
I literally be telling people all the time, like, there's a reason we all have our like separate paths. What I may be doing may seem like it's greater than what you're doing, but nobody's journey is greater than anybody's. Like, we're all in a journey, no matter what you work till the end of the days, man. Like, we're all making something happen for ourselves. That's the point, bruh. That's the point.
Make you learn that lesson sometimes. Sometimes you got to go through it, and they go through it, and they come out to the same conclusion. It's hard to be, you know, especially as you get older in age. It's like, ugh, I don't got time. And he's right also about the like, once you have a very good relationship, one where both people are caring towards each other, supportive, and have each other's backs, and it's not a, you know, a lot of images of negative relationships that you see a lot. You're
Yeah.
like, damn, okay, this is something worth building upon. So, and the
Facts.
worst part is you're sacrificing for this, but then you take away from meeting your potential,
Yeah.
which means then you can't achieve the goals that you want to do, which is like
Yeah.
potentially support your family, help the people around you, build for your community. You know, it's like if you ask me today what I derive pleasure from, it's like supporting those around me. That's what makes me personally fulfilled, right? I'd be sacrificing that to do all the other stuff. Does that seem right? Does that seem in line with like the values? So you have to
Why
ask
is he
yourself,
zooming in on
what
bro's
is- what is
face
your
like?
purpose? What it is that you want to accomplish, right? That's just something that you have to think about. Is there anything else that you want to bring up?
No,
No?
you nailed it.
All the other stuff.
Bro's like,
Does that seem right? Does that seem in line with like the values that I want? So you have to ask like, what is your purpose? What it is that you want to accomplish, right? So that's just something that you have to think about. Is there anything else that you want
my hands was
No?
feeling that
No,
shit.
you got nothing to say on this
He's
topic?
like,
No,
wow.
not really.
No. Yeah, single life for you.
Wow, bro.
like being Christianity.
I ain't never heard a nigga
like being
talk
Christianity.
that much truth.
Right? Don't worry, I'll zoom in on your face. I'll zoom in on your face and be like, today I chose violence.
Yeah, but no, it was not as violent as me when I went in. Because whenever you said that, whenever you wrote that, I was like, yeah, today.
You know why I wrote
I
that?
woke up. Why?
I wrote that because I knew like a lot of people were gonna have a visceral reaction to what you were
Yeah,
saying.
of
So I was
course.
just like, get it, nigga.
And it was not even as bad as I thought it would be.
No.
I thought people would be. You're good.
He's backing up. He's backing up. I gotta let him know we still in these streets.
I'm dead.
We still in these streets. Can you hear the streets calling?
I thought it would be worse.
And it's funny I'm talking about this right now because I have like YouTubers who I used to follow.
Where do
way
they
back
live
in the
at
day.
where
Some of you
there's
guys
just
might know
like you
Hot
can
Damn I
hear
Rock.
the
He actually came out with a
construction?
video
That's
recently.
wild to me.
And he talks about the change in his perspective.
But I
as
always
well.
forget a
And
lot
so
of
it's
places
interesting
don't have,
to me
like,
that literally
basements and
everybody I
stuff.
know
And
who
I
I
would-
genuinely
I work in
respect
my
have kind of
basement.
realized that being out here in these streets doing all this stuff,
My own
it's not worth it.
basement.
It's not worth it. It's generally not worth it. And for the young folks who are watching this, young men especially, I know what they might sell you. I know what the people around you might be talking about. Understand a lot of it's just fluff. All right? A lot of it's just fluff. Focus on yourself. Focus on the things that you need to do. In the long run, you'll definitely
That's
feel
facts,
more
bro.
fulfilled by that.
Everything
Well,
is
you know,
fluff, yeah. Just
wanna close the window?
do the one thing you
At this
like
point, the streets are calling.
constantly, every day.
This video.
Just always
But,
do it,
it's kind
and
of
it'll
thematic
pay
for this
off
one
at some
specifically.
point.
This is very fitting. This is very fitting. The streets calling, because the streets aren't calling.
The streets are calling.
They be calling me.
Streets are calling.
The streets be calling me. It's funny because Kevin recently came out with the whole topic of like high value men don't cheat, they exercise options. So how do you think he reconciles those two things?
I don't know what he meant by that.
Basically saying like high value men, like the dudes who are at the top, right? If you're married to them, like sometimes they just gonna have a concubine every now and then. They gonna have a side chick.
It's something that's happened. Yeah. I've seen that. I've seen it happen. We've seen it happen.
Yeah.
It's not something that is not out there.
Right. But do you think there's a bit of a contradiction in regards to what he was saying there in terms of the value of that and
No, I think those can actually live together. I don't think
Yeah,
it
I'm
was necessarily
like,
contradicting himself. I think that it's possible that those things can coexist, right?
Yeah.
There's some high value man that's gonna look for whatever.
Some people don't like that, some
let me
people like
rephrase
that.
It's a possibility that those things are actually not even the same topic.
okay.
Facts.
It's not even the same people.
Yeah, it's completely
you're saying.
like there's some people
So
who do
when he's
this, some
talking
people
about
who
high
do that,
value
man.
men is gonna sometimes have a concubine, doesn't necessarily mean that people are gonna be in the streets. It's not the same thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think he's even talking about the same thing right there. And
That's
there.
fair.
Yeah, it's a possibility. I don't think he contradicts himself there. He's just depicting two different things.
Yeah.
There's people out there, high value or no, whatever the hell that means, that are just in these streets.
Yeah.
Look, I look at guys in the NFL and NBA who don't have the benefit of having to work like we did per se. They work in a different environment, but where can you make yourself competent and getting these opportunities? You realize where you came from and how rare it is. You don't want to go back. And taking the time to try to chase women is a disservice to you, your purpose, and even the women, because this will crumble. This will fall. And it's so sad to see guys in the NFL, after the NFL, with kids here, kids there, money falling apart, dwindling. Now they're on Fix My Life or whatever.
That's crazy because that's facts, yo.
Look, it's easy for men to say if you haven't had enough success, the first thing I do is I go out and slay a bunch. Trust me. No, sir. No, sir. Even with the access I have, enough is enough. You want what you want, and that's why my private life, I keep it very, very quiet. I only deal with a certain caliber woman because it's already stressful enough to be me. You know how that goes in front of the
Yeah,
camera.
that's a fact.
And people are always looking for something to expose you about or this or that. And it's like, you know what?
Yo.
I'm on my purpose. I'm doing what I need to do because I have an opportunity that I don't want to waste.
Nope.
So many
Yeah.
guys don't have this. And this can be a generational blessing if I manage the opportunity correctly.
So I think what he says there is
Facts.
very reasonable, and I kind of want to play that because I think it's a message that doesn't get put out there enough. And I think when people do put it out there, they put it out there like being a player is shameful. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as a man, it's generally it's in your best interest to just invest in yourself in that regards. Because one, doing
Or
other
the
stuff
one
is not nearly as
woman, you know,
rewarding
because
as people make it out.
a
to
bunch
be.
of them
Two,
is just a waste
you
of
do yourself a
time.
disservice, like you said. So
At the end of the day,
that's just my advice
it's
to
a waste of
young
time,
men.
man.
Anything else?
You don't want all of them. You only really want one at the end of the day, so it's like, might as well deal with none or one. It's like, but, you know, with some guys, you know, once you're up there already, I guess, and if you never have found that one person, it's like, whatever. But in my opinion, yeah, having either one person or nobody is so much better for you, especially as a man. That's all I can speak from. As a man, like, yeah, you ain't gonna have no time for much. So it's like, you know, you gotta either sacrifice your time for the things you really want to do and be successful at, or you gotta sacrifice, like, you know, having a girl. Like, it's not really a sacrifice if, you know, if it doesn't just come to you. Because sometimes those things just fall into your hands and fall into your lap. And that's kind of how those things should work. If they don't work that way and you're looking for it, it's really a waste of time. It really is a waste of time. Yeah. They were speaking nothing but facts in this. But yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next video.